All right, y'all, we are going to talk about how to be creative, and I just wanted to do a quick intro for this video, and the rest I'm going to be drawing because it'll be so much more satisfying. But if you could like and subscribe, I would really appreciate that. I guess we will get right into it. Hello, my little tubers. Today, I'm just gonna be drawing, and I'm going to be talking about how to be creative and how to get out of a creative rut, how to up your creativity, because I think it's really important to be creative every day because humans are creatures. We are creative. Anyways, yeah. Before I start talking, don't judge me because I'm literally just making this up. Don't compare yourself to me because guess what? We get to make stuff up when we are creative, and that's the fun of it. We get to just kind of mess around. And sometimes that messing around turns out good. Sometimes it turns out not so good. There's a lot that can happen with creating, so you just gotta kind of go for it. And you gotta go for it knowing that someone's gonna judge you, and that someone is often yourself, so you gotta learn to kind of silence that part of you sometimes. My first point that I want to talk about is that creativity looks totally different for everyone. Creativity is going to look totally different for you than it is for me or anybody else. This is an interesting thing to think about. So what do you think creativity is? Sometimes we have pretty narrow views about what we think creativity is and what we allow creativity to be. So do you think creativity is only drawing something that turns out as a beautiful masterpiece? Do you think creativity is only composing a song that hits the top 10 Billboard charts or whatever? What do you think of creativity? And that is a really good thing to ask yourself, because if you're in a creative rut or you just are someone who's like, I just don't know how to be creative at all, start by trying to take a look at your viewpoint of what you think creativity is. So you might have a really narrow view, and you are cutting yourself off from ways that you could be creative because you don't see creativity for what it truly is, which is a huge range of different options, mediums, different skill levels. Creativity is so many more things than what we might normally consider. There are so many ways to be creative. You can create a new recipe, follow a new recipe that you haven't tried before. You can try drawing, you can try making videos, you can try making social media posts, you can try creating a new outfit, you can try writing, you can try poetry, you can try decorating your house and organizing, you can try building Legos, you can try dancing, singing, knitting, iPhone photography, gardening, DIY tutorials, you can try making music, you can try programming. That's a way to be creative. I literally know nothing about it, but you can try planning parties. There are so many ways that you can be creative, and it's not just confined to drawing. And one person's going to love something like programming that another person might hate, or you might love like everything and want to try a little bit of everything, and that's great too. So that's a really important part, because I used to definitely compare myself to others, put myself down, worry that like my art didn't look like theirs and I couldn't work with that medium, but there's really no competition. With that being said, don't overthink it. If you are sitting in front of a blank canvas or in front of a piano or whatever it is that you're trying to create, and you're just sitting there thinking, okay, I have to make this perfect, you're never gonna go anywhere. You can always start. Like, I just started doing this and making this up, and maybe I'll delete it later. Maybe I won't be satisfied with the final product, but you should always just start. Just go for it. Don't think too much. Just go with it and start learning to go with the flow. You can always erase. You can always never make that recipe again. You can always smash that Lego tower and destroy it, and no one will ever have to see it. You never have to keep something forever. It's great to just go for it and don't overthink it. Just jump on in. Just don't put pressure on yourself, because there's no point at all. Like right now, I'm just making stuff up and I'm going with it, and I might hate it and I might not, but you know, who cares? What do I have to lose? Absolutely nothing. If you're not used to creating, then it's always fun to try different mediums, to try different ideas. You can start with one thing, and if you're not into it, switch to another. Also, would highly recommend creating a space or a vibe that you're going to want to sit there and is enjoyable for you. So a lot of us, we're really tired at the end of our day, and we don't have a lot of free time to ourselves, and we don't have a lot of time to relax. So we just watch TV, play video games, just kind of like very passive things. But you can still do these while creating. You can still draw while watching something. You can still draw while listening to music. You can still cook a new recipe while listening to an audiobook. You can still have your time where you sit down and relax. Creating can be a very relaxing thing. It can be a really amazing feeling thing. You can light a candle, listen to music. You can get comfy. You can even lay in bed and draw, or you can even write a poem on your notes app on your phone. You can text a poem to yourself. You can sing. You can dance while listening to music, while doing chores around your house. There's so many different ways that you can make it really enjoyable. You don't want to make being creative like a chore. It should be like a reward. And it should be something enjoyable and relaxing and fun and something that you look forward to. So I would highly recommend finding some sort of habit that you enjoy around creating. I really like drawing while watching TV, because a lot of television shows, for me personally, they're not good enough for my full attention. That's what I like to do. I also enjoy drawing while listening to YouTube videos, listening to podcasts, listening to audiobooks, that sort of thing. You can find out something that works for you. You could also go to a coffee shop and buy yourself a coffee and draw there. There are ways that you can be creative on the go. Make it easy for yourself to create. If you're new to creating, try and pick a medium that is low mess and low supplies to start out with, because you might not enjoy it. Knitting's really easy. Drawing with pen and paper, writing poetry, writing a book or something along those lines. I think it's always good to, even if you want to have a fun way that requires a lot of supplies, like pottery. You could go to a pottery class, or acrylics. You might need canvases, brushes, paints. You might need to clean up and put it away every time. There's just a lot more involved than just bringing a pencil and paper somewhere. But I think it's always good to have some way that you can be creative with very little mess and just pull it out and put it away really quickly. And that always helps me get more creativity time in throughout the day. For me, I've got my iPad. When I'm done creating, I just put my pen back, and it's pretty easy, and there's no mess. If you have a large home with the space, you can set up an area for you that you can just leave your art supplies out. That would be such a cool thing to have. And if you have the space, then I would highly recommend it, because if it's there and it's already just sitting out there, you're probably gonna look at it and be like, oh yeah, I could go make some art right now. My next tip would be to try and make something every day, even if it's just 5 minutes, even if it's just a haiku, even if it is just a doodle on a sticky note. Try and do something every day Obviously, don't force anything, but it's good to get into a habit, because once you get into the habit, it becomes so fun and it's so fulfilling. But it's just good to kind of start that habit off by telling yourself to do it every day. So if I'm in a creative rut, I just write it on my to-do list for the day, and then I feel like I have to cross it off. And even if it's just a haiku, I will write my poem, whether I like it or not. And then doing a little bit every day starts to slowly get you back into it, even if it's just a haiku, which literally takes 20 seconds. Take inspiration. Don't forget to cheat. Don't forget to take inspiration from other artists. If another artist has art that you love and is so inspiring to you, take a photo of it. Bring it home with you. Don't let that leave your sight forever. If it's inspiring to you, like, you can take a photo of it and try and recreate it. You can watch a tutorial. You can wow, this is so fun, just like mixing these colors up. You can use a coloring book. You can find a painting you like and try and copy it completely. You can find someone else's recipe that they've created. You could even get a cupcake decorating kit and decorate cupcakes yourself. You can follow a tutorial for some DIY thing. Don't put pressure on yourself to be totally original if that's where you're getting stuck. Just start creating, even if you're taking inspiration, and from that place, you will then learn to find your own groove, and you'll find what you like, and you'll find what works for you and what doesn't work for you. But it usually takes getting inspired from someone else before that can happen. Don't put pressure on yourself to figure it all out yourself. Like, you can totally get help. Watch a tutorial. Even following a tutorial completely counts. Next, very important, don't compare yourself. Don't compare yourself to anyone. The only person you should compare yourself is you, if you even want to do that. But just don't compare yourself. There are some people who've been working on certain things for years. There are some people who they're really good with one medium and maybe they're really bad with another. But you shouldn't be comparing yourself to someone else. It's not worth your time and energy. When you compare yourself, you start to get into this cycle of self-doubt, and then you don't even allow yourself room for growth because you're just worried about how not good you are, and then you don't even allow yourself to try. So just don't compare yourself. Would highly not recommend doing that. You are the only you. You're not anyone else. You don't have to be anyone else. You don't have to do the same art as anyone else. You can take inspiration from them and learn from them and love their style and enjoy it, but you don't have to be them. You will never be them. You are only ever going to be you. So just make sure that you aren't comparing yourself. And art is about the process. So make sure you're enjoying the process. And if you're comparing yourself, I can guarantee that you are not enjoying the process. So really try and work on that. Take it easy. Don't force anything. If you're truly in a negative rut about creativity, comparing yourself, feeling like, oh, I'm such a horrible artist, I'm not creative at all, blah, 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 don't force yourself. Don't force anything. Wait until you're in a better mood. I would just recommend, if you're in a really bad place, you're really feeling negative about your art and your creativity and whatnot, just go do something else until you feel better. Don't try and create from a place where you're feeling self-doubt, worry, annoyance with yourself, comparisons, like try and create from a place of inspiration. And the place of inspiration is never from a place where you are comparing yourself and feeling awful about yourself. So if you are worried, if you're feeling bad, if you're feeling like, oh gosh, if you're clicking on this video because you're freaking out that you're not creative enough, go outside. Be like, today I will do nothing creative. do something to make yourself happy. Go to the pumpkin patch, go get a coffee, go to the park, take a walk, go play Pokemon Go. Whatever you need to do to completely get your mind off it, take all the pressure off yourself. Do something to make yourself happy and fully let yourself off the hook. And once you're happier, you will probably start to be able to be inspired again. But creating from a place where you feel that really like not fun feeling of comparison and worthlessness and whatever, you're not going to create anything good from there. Well, maybe you will, but you're not going to have fun doing it. So then what's the point? Look how much fun I'm having doing this. It's just the best. Final tip for you all. Have fun. It's fine to erase. It's fine to delete stuff. It's fine to throw it out. It's fine to rip it up and burn it. It's fine to move on. Just keep going. Just know that your job isn't to create a masterpiece. It's to enjoy the creation. That's your job with life too. But anyways, just try and have fun with it. Just try and make it a really fun thing. And if you're not having fun with it, let it go and have some fun and come back. So that's my advice to you. I hope you enjoyed my beautiful masterpiece. One more thing, if you guys could like and subscribe and let me know what you guys thought of this video, that would be great. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.